We're good, Ken? Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this meeting of the Transportation Infrastructure Park Plus Committee, better known as TIPS. At this time, we'll have roll call by Councilwoman Washington.
Mayor Pro Tem George Turner,
Yeah,
Councilman Terry Fry, Councilmember Carol Graves. Here. Councilmember Tammy Grimes. Here. Councilmember Alicia Washington. Here. Mayor Jasmine Cobble. Dear Scruggs.
thank you very much. It has approval of the agenda. Any need for any adjustments to the agenda? Okay, here none. We'll just accept it and keep moving. But before we go into public comments, let's have introduction of any new attendees.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Patrick Walker. I'm the new Capital Projects Manager, and I work under Harry Carricaran.
Nice meeting you. Nice meeting.
Yes,
Mr.
nice
Walker.
meeting
And
you.
you come to us from,
I used to work at DeKalb County before I came to Stoughton.
welcome Stonecrest, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
And what'd you say your title was? I'm sorry. I'm Tammy Grimes. I represent the fifth district here in the city.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Good to
I'm
meet you.
Capital Projects Manager.
That's a project committee. Okay, thank you.
Next item on the agenda is public comment. It says overall limit in public comment is 20 minutes. Time limit is 2 minutes per speaker. Speakers can only speak once in public comment. Public comments are restricted to topics regarding the TIP committee. At this time, do you have any public comment? Mr. Marcus?
Good evening, y'all.
Good evening.
Just walk up here so I can see everybody. Okay. I just wanted to say, I hope that you will move quickly on bringing the Milledgeville project to completion. The clock's been closed for going on 5 years. And it's a shame that the city government has let that go on so long, especially as it's added, I'm sure, hundreds of thousands of dollars to the cost of the project. And related to that, the discussion about Everett Park and a takeout there, in addition to parking there, should not omit the fact that Camp County, I understand, would be happy to sell the additional 40 acres of Everett Park that the city does not own. 40, or actually 41 acres, for $100 an acre, according to Frames and Chuck Ellis. And that would give more room for parking, probably more room and possibly better takeout for kayaks and canoes. So my desire is to urge you to evaluate that. $4,000 to get a big chunk of land that could be ultimately someday possibly developed and impact the view from Everett or from the river. Anyway, that's what I want to say. Consider that that's available. $4,000 is not pocket change for me. Probably as much as finance can't account for in the last day and a half around here, but you know, it's important.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Ernie. Tonight, I wanted to draw your attention, council members, to something that's on the CPIM agenda for tomorrow night. And you might find it a little bit unusual, I'm going to say to you, which is that this is for a variance for a self-storage facility at the southwest corner of Latonia Industrial Boulevard and South Latonia Road. And I'm going to say that this is not a good idea. There is a unique property there, a unique house, the old Coffey residence, C-O-F-F-E-Y. They at one time were major landowners in the area. Coffey Road is named after them. The house is, to a substantial part, constructed of granite, and it has lots of granite inside. It really reflects the heritage of this area. And the coffees themselves were one time, I had 100% involved with the granite industry. But the property is beautiful, lots of trees on it, on both frontages has tall leeward cypress, sides, trees. And I would submit that, with Mr. Marcus, this is a property that the city should consider acquiring. It could be a community center in an area of the county where there is no community center. It could be something like City Hall North. It would be on a modest scale, but nevertheless, it is a beautiful house. It's unique. It's historic, built more than 50 years ago. It is very much in tune with the history of this area. And it would be a shame, an absolute shame, if the entire thing were cleared off for a self-storage facility, which frankly, we don't need enough. Thank you all very much. I just wanted to draw your attention.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else? There's none. That will close public comment. I see we have on the agenda the approval of the minutes from 4 other meetings. And we don't have those minutes available. I will make sure you get them electronically. And at our next meeting, we will definitely be ready to address these minutes. Because the year is about to close out and we have not addressed the minutes of the meeting, so that has to happen. Speaking of which, we're about to enter into December and we may, well, now we've got to come together to take care of the minutes. I think we might skip that meeting, but we've got to close it out properly, so we'll at least need to handle the minutes. This evening is a chance for us to get an update on projects that have been around. We traditionally looking at the last 12 months, but as has been stated, some of these for 3 or 4 years, and we're trying to get an update as to where they stand and how they've been impacted as of late. And we're going to open with the first one, and that is Panova Shoals Embankment Assessment. Harry?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, and I'm going to run through all 4 in one PowerPoint presentation.
That'd be good.
Go over that. So the conditions on the Panola Shoals have significantly changed due to the recent Hurricane Helene has changed the condition there. You can see on the left side of the picture there, there is a new pond or small lake or whatever you call it, closer to our shore there. And on the next picture, you can see that the water coming under the bridge, and then it is kind of going towards the right side and creating the pond. And then the main direction used to be towards our left-hand side, but it is just formed that recently. And then, it is going to impact our original design, what we have done. So we have the contract, we gave them the notice to proceed. And then when they came and ready to install the construction barriers and everything, and then they did the survey to set the controls, they found out that the design, what we designed for the wall and everything, those are going to be sitting on that lake there. So we have given them a task order to go and do a as-built of the conditions of the slope. And then once we have that, we'll make a decision on how to proceed with that. And then there's a possibility of some design changes is going to happen. And the survey work started about 7 days ago. And then we hopefully we'll have a good, the actual condition survey very soon. And then the next slide is going to show you the slope, actual slope there. The one on the top left is showing the fence there, and then you can see the erosion there, and then that white marker there was one of the path markers. And, you can see, there's a lot of vegetation here at this site. Most of them are washed away, or, you can see that, all of them are kind of down there. The water was actually, much higher than that, the elevation I'm showing there, my arrow, it was way above that fence, during the hilling, and then you can see, some of the tree roots have been, kind of open, on this one, and then the erosion has taken over. And the lake or the pond I was talking about here, you can see in the bottom picture there, that is there now. We didn't have that before. And then the beach or the shore area was actually up to the slope before, and now we got a little, water lake standing there. And then, at some point, we may have to drain that. There's a narrow path there. We may have to drain that to get that out, when we do the construction, so that there's no water there. So just giving you a summary of what we have noticed, that there's a lot of erosion. We had, most of the park underwater. And then we hired, used our architect, the contractor, to remove, a significant amount of sand from the path. We had to rent, an equipment to scrape it and get it out. And so that is the status on the Panola Shores. And once we have the survey, we will know which direction we are going to move forward with that. We want to make sure when we build those, the stacked walls, that our foundation is solid. And we don't want to be building something that we want to go back and replace it, or basically we are spending significant amount of time and money on this, but we'll make sure we are doing it right. And then, that's the status on that. And the second one I want to.
Before you go on, they have been given a notice to proceed, and now you're saying that notice, has been pushed back. What's the status of it now? Are you gonna have to delay it?
So the contractor has, basically hired the survey to come back and do a as-built with the slope and everything. And so they are still working on it, and as soon as they come back, we'll hand over that survey to our design firm that who designed this thing. And then, we want to make sure that the design firm certify us, saying that the design they have done or completed is going to work for the new conditions, or if any changes need to be made for the design, the wall need to be shifted, or that it's going to work, or if there's any changes to the foundation. You want to make sure when the foundation goes into the soil, that is a sound and solid soil where the foundation is going to go, and then so that we can build that more.
So best case, we can still have a shovel in the ground before the year is out?
Most likely, yes, because the survey, we are supposed to get it back just after Thanksgiving. And then once we have that, if the engineering firm says the design is still good, the contractor will come and, basically clears out the whole area and then shift that path to the north existing path, and then start working on the construction.
And originally, how long did they project it would take to complete this project?
It was, it was a 12 months project with all the rain delays and all kind of stuff. The contractor is ready to go, and they wanted to expedite this because we spent a lot of time on this thing.
I say we did.
All right, so we will know. Originally it was a 90 days project, and it was shifted to 6 months. And then, definitely it is going to, going into next year, a good part of, spring and, probably the summer.
If we don't get another flood.
Speaking of flood, we wondered what would have happened if we started the construction, and then we were in the middle of the construction when this happened, and then that would have been a significant loss for us in the middle of the construction in December.
Well, I used to joke that if we didn't get it done, Panola Park is gonna wind up down the South River. And it looks like a lot of it did go down the South River, but we got some new sand. Was that a plus, a liability that all that new sand washed in it?
The amount of water, and then the water level, came through that area. was surprised that we still have our path intact. It is there. Only thing it did was it brought about 9 to 12 inches of sand on top of that, and then we were able to clear that. But I thought, this erosion would have come all the way into the path and concrete path and eaten that up too. Luckily, it didn't happen.
Okay, well, I have one, resident complaining that he's losing backyard to the South River. And, I told him I'd get back to him, so I'll get you that information.
Please do.
Okay.
We'll look at that. So that is my update on the Panola Shores. And then there is another location we ended up getting some damage here. So this is on Panola Road. This is basically east of the entrance to Panola Shores. When we were paving, by the way, the Panola Road paving is complete now. It was completed and it was fully striped, and then people should not be seeing any of these dodging into the opposing lane. And they don't have to do that anymore. And you can see the damage there on the slide on the left. You can see that where the damage was. And then you can see, when we were paving, we had ended up putting the cones there. And then you can see the slope running off that. And then, when we did the paving, we were able to get out of there without making that place worse. And then I went there 2 weeks ago down on the slope. So you can look at this, the damage that's done. This is the entire the culvert, and then the road was underwater the day we had the flooding. You can see the picture on the second picture from the left is, you can see that wing wall on that side. It is damaged. It is very difficult to tell when that damage occurred. I don't know whether it happened during the Helene or it's before, but that is damaged. And then because of that, the wing wall damage, the soil from the road started coming down here. You can see on the picture on the right, you can see that soil erosion happening there. And then this is something we need to deal with. We don't want this to get worse and worse. We got a couple of quotes from contractors. It's a significant amount, but after I went down there to look at it, we may not be able to just award this contract to people. We want an engineering firm to look at this. We want to make sure that that wing wall is redesigned and it is extended more than the original wing wall is. I would like to get that wing wall extended about 20 feet tall, so that the slope, when the soil is basically held, so that there is no further erosion in any future weather events or something like that. So we had engaged a design firm to get a survey done on this and design it, and then engage contractors to fix it, because we don't want to be fixing this multiple times.
Is this a roads and drainage issue that we need to share with the Cap County?
So currently, City of Stonecrest don't have public works on our own. The Cap County Roads and Drainage or Public Works is our public works. So technically, they have to, since this is a stormwater issue, they are responsible for this. In addition to that, city manager is having a meeting with Dima tomorrow, and she's going to bring up both items, Panola Shores and this one with them. And I asked her today to set up a meeting with me on site with them sometime next week. So I want to meet them and bring it up, saying that these two will qualify for storm damage claims for the payment on the federal funding or whatever the funding comes for the storm damage, because this both caused by the Hurricane Helene. Any design changes or construction changes on Panola Shores is due to Helene. So we seriously need to be pitching for funding for changes for both projects.
What does the term percolated mean when it comes to Let me give you a picture of what I saw when I was there. It seemed like there was bubbles coming up through the asphalt when the water was about 6 to 8 inches above the, street level. And it was just constantly bubbling.
Yeah, it's a, soft base, that's what that is. So when you have a sub base and a base, get really loosened by the water standing there. And then, whatever the left, yeah, I would try to come out of that, that's what's happening there. But if it is a hardened surface, there is no, it's compacted, 99%, 98%, that's not gonna happen. But if it is not, the sub base and base is not built properly, and you have, compaction is less than what is supposed to be, it's a loose soil, so that should probably happen, and the water goes into in those pores and try to get the, or the air bubbles, air, whatever left in there to try to come out.
I'm no engineer, but I looked and said, this can't be good.
Yes, so, all right, that's the damage, and then I have more pictures on the damage here. You can see the middle picture is showing where the hurricane came down. So that cone you see there, sitting there up place, because we put that at the top there. And the drivers who drive way above the speed limit basically knocked that down to the slope, and you can see those two cones. We had 4 cones and 2 of them are down now. And then you can see the trees also fell there. And and then you can see in the third picture, that is where that erosion happened there, getting closer to the asphalt. So that is all I have about the Panola Road erosion. Mayor Pro Tem, you mentioned this to me, and then until I went down there, it's a pretty significant drop. I go there, and I didn't realize that this hurricane has done this kind of a damage to that culvert. It is a double barrel box culvert there. It took out one of the wing walls. You can see it on the picture on the left there. That is on the second item there. And then the other one I want to talk about is the intersection. The city engaged a consultant to do intersection improvements. We choose 3 intersections to do a concept study. Miller Road and Thompson Mill is one of them. So they have come up with 3 alternate options to improve that. The first 2 alternate 1A and 1B. Those are roundabout. And I met with them last week, went over all the options and made my comments, and they're revising the concept and also revising the cost estimate, and then come back to us. And at some point, most likely in the December 16th meeting, I'll bring it to the council to get this adopted. So alternate 1A is basically centering that roundabout at the intersection. And in this intersection, we're going to have sidewalks, sections on both, and then the crosswalks. And you can see it is just a regular, typical intersection roundabout with a larger radius. What this will do is that it will make us relocate the power pole there. And even with that, this is less cost than the one on your right. One on your right is going to miss that the power pole, but it is going to off-center the roundabout. And also the radius is going to be much smaller than this. And then there is on the one on the left, the right-of-way take is much less than the one on the right. When you shift it to the way, the one shifted on the right, some property needed to be purchased on those corner lot, those 2 lots, and also some on the right, sort of the north, right corner. But this one, you don't have to buy much of the property. There's small amount of property you need to purchase. And then also you guys buy some easements there. And then the alternate two is basically, it's not a roundabout. It is, improving the intersection. You can see, the road coming from the north, the Miller Road. You're gonna have a dedicated right turn lane. The Miller Road going northbound, you're gonna have a dedicated, right turn. And then you have a left turning and then the through lane is there and the same thing on that one. So it is just it is an intersection improvement with the crosswalks and everything. And then there is no signal here. It is still going to be a four-way stop. Roundabout. So it is actually alternate two. So the recommended alternate is actually alternate 1A from the engineer. They're still, making changes to this. So actually not changes, incorporating my comments after we went through this and then we'll come back to this one. So. this-
Where's the blue house? You know, where the trucks always, come off of Thompson Mill and get in the ditch, the back
So
tires.
there's a house here.
Okay, that's the blue house.
That's the blue house.
Okay.
And then there's another house here. And there is no houses, no structures in this property.
Where's the pole? Where the pole
The
is,
pole is actually right here. If you look at this one,
make a move.
right here on this, the sidewalk is going behind that pole there. I don't know whether you can see my arrow there.
Oh, you on to the next.
Next one, yeah.
Mhm.
This one, the pole is going to be in the middle of the road here. It need to be, moved or relocated. This is basically, you have to do that to center this roundabout.
But
And
I
then
thought we said something about the pole couldn't be moved.
we did check it. We thought it was going to cost $800,000. That was your estimate. Yeah, but they found
How
out
much
that
did you say?
$800,000. But they found out it is significantly lower than what we thought. So that's why they are recommending this.
Okay.
And then there are two more poles to be moved, on this corner and everything, but those are, just a small poles.
Small.
One of the poles is actually there, it's not, don't even have a whole lot of lines on it. There are two poles are sitting next to each other in this corner here.
We're gonna move box, some box to the box side.
Yeah, those when you came. Yeah, those are when you came.
And on option two, you don't have to purchase any land or.
There's a small piece right here, I don't know whether you can see that small piece there, and a small piece here, and then a small piece here, that's it. On this one, there's nothing on this one,
And where's the blue house again?
right here.
And you don't have to move any poles or anything on that one.
There are small poles that you move on this one.
The number of accidents that happen right there where that blue house is.
Yeah.
We need to eliminate that threat as much as possible.
On the alternate 1A, this larger radius is going to give a lot more turn radius for vehicles
Mhm.
and move. And then, this Thompson Miller, they're not truck routes. There should not be any trucks coming through here.
What was the
Hopefully.
keyword?
You said shouldn't.
So that's all on these three options. Any questions or anything? So once we have the final version, bring it to the council for adoption. And the next one is Klondike and Goddard.
Ooh, please, Murphy County. Is that where we are?
Right, so
Is that it? I don't wanna look at it. Is that it? Ooh, yes.
So Klondike and South. So we got two options here, alternate one and alternate two. Yeah, alternate one and alternate two. Alternate one is actually, it'll be a fully signalized intersection. There's not a whole lot of changes here. Very less properties are getting affected by this. And, you basically, I don't know whether anybody noticed this, there's a skew now, right now. The road coming on the South Garrett coming from the east side is much lower than the one coming from the school. It's a little higher. So this, correct. So this improvement, I'm talking about the alignment. So this will basically align both roads and then shift a little bit to the north to have that the through lane here. And, it'll be fully signalized. You can see that proposed signal pole there, one here, one here.
Where's the old house? I mean, the old convenience store.
It's
Where's
right
that?
here. So the convenience store is going to remain there. It's not going to change. It's going to stay everything. And then we're going to push that, the road a little bit towards the school here and then have this little turn radius for somebody to go there. And then, this project is suggesting have a small sections of sidewalk. And, one of my comments to them, they are working on it right now, to extend the sidewalk from here all the way to the south. So that, because we have a plan to build a sidewalk, from the larger intersection all the way here.
We say all the way to the south and then all the way to 212.
Right, we have that, so they're
Going
gonna
down to it.
increase that, and then, from this intersection to the school entrance is included in this concept. So this is the, alternate two. Alternate one is, you can see roundabout. The roundabout is shifted towards the school because this building, we have to miss it since that is one of the historic buildings. So we are missing that. It's shifting this way. Most of the property is going to come from the school property here because we are shifting towards, the west. So in this picture, left here.
So we take away the steps. that go
Take away
up
the
to
step, and then there is a lot of telecommunication boxes and everything. All those have to be relocated. And this is actually a little expensive option because of all those. If we can play with this building, it wouldn't be that expensive, but the whole design concept is missing that building, so it kind of shifted towards the school side.
Can you push the building to?
We can't go around the building?
In this, we are going around the building.
No, I'm talking on the back side of the building.
How would you do that?
I don't know, that engineer.
You know what?
So this is a single lane roundabout here. And then the preferred alternative is alternate two. I'm still waiting for them to revise it and bring it back. So that is, and then this will be fully signalized. We'll have a loops there so that, you can time it based on the loop. So if there is nobody sitting on one of those
Mhm.
things, it'll turn right quicker.
Okay.
And if people are sitting, and then we also can program this timing for the school hours.
Oh, let
And let them,
them.
let them go out faster. And so this is cheaper or less expensive option, alternate two. So any questions, please send it to me and then I can get that answered by the consultant. They're working on it. Hopefully we'll have that just after Thanksgiving, the final product for us to bring.
A lot less?
Yes, that's correct, lot less, yes.
So prepare for that to be also the other December.
Yes, that's the plan for now, yes. And then the third intersection, the council authorized us to go and study is the Turner Hill Hidden Quarry. So we have 1, 2, 3 options. And then they're working on the fourth option now because I made some comments on them. I'll tell you what that fourth option is. So this is basically realigning the road here. And the 2 lanes coming from Moore Parkway at from Turner Hill, those 2 lanes, right now, you go to the bank and the other one is both lanes are merged into 1 lane. In this concept, the 1 thorough lane will going to stay. The second lane is going to be becoming a turn lane into Hidden Quarry North. I guess it is west. And then this one here, the Parks at Stonecrest residents will be able to come here and then have their own, right turning lane. And that lane will go all the way. It is not going to get merged or anything like that. That lane will go all the way. And that is the through lane into Turner Hill all the way, right turning. And then, you'll have coming into City Hall that you still have that right turning lane here. And then, this one here, you're going to have a through lane here. the same lane will be, coming from the south. The through lane will be used as a right turning lane into Eden Quarry South also. And then you will have a left turning lane into Eden Quarry. So, and then this will be fully signalized. We have it. So my comment for this is basically I wanted this alternate, extend that right turning lane for the people who are coming from your subdivision,
The park.
parks, and then extend that turn lane a little longer than what it is so that there is a free flow on that little longer so that people can turn.
Where's the church?
Church down,
Church is way down.
church way down.
Way down.
Yeah.
So where are the three little lots that are right there on the
For the fire station,
same,
fire station.
Where they build a fire station.
Those are here. Those are here.
the burnt house before I get to Bojangles?
Correct. Those are here. Bojangles is,
No, the burnt house is that way.
Burn House is right here.
Yeah.
Can you see there?
Yes, okay.
The Burn House here, yeah. So this option, the right of way needs to be dedicated so that, the sidewalk is going to come from here all the way and go through here and then, there's this section of the sidewalk here. And it'll be completely aligned, 90 degrees, so that there's no skew anymore on that. And then alternate one is, the roundabout option. And then, everything, there's 2 lanes are going here. And, it is going to be a good size, roundabout. It is a full, 110, 100 feet radius roundabout. And then the people coming from I-20, they don't have to go through the roundabout. They can skip that and go around that to go into the turning hill. Same thing for parks of Stormcrest people also. They can skip the roundabout and take a right turn into this and go. And then, the people who are making those left movements have to go through the roundabout. And then, in this project, entire section from Moore Parkway all the way to roundabout and beyond the corner will be resurfaced and then redone here. And there is a little turn lane into the daycares and everything here too. So this is the alternate one. Alternate 2, we talked about it. Alternate 3 is basically keeping the skew and making this right turning, adding the right turn lane into both sides of the Hidden Quarry. And then for people from Parks and Stormcrest, they have a turn lane to go, but they still need to stop and merge into that one lane. But it'll be smoother turning than right now. Right now we just have to sit there and turn. And then you're going to have a left turning lane here to this. And then, the same thing here. You have this left turn lane here. So they are working on a third option, and then most likely this would be the preferred option. Still realign it, add some additional turn lanes here, and then keep that 2-lane section here on both sides of Turner Hill, and then come up to here. Our transportation master plan called for,
The connector with Abbott Lake.
all the way to the 3-way stop.
Mhm.
And then, but this doesn't cover that. This is only, we hired a consultant to do only the intersection improvement design. And at some point, we have to continue from here all the way to the 3-way stop.
How much distance is from that location to Mall Parkway?
It's probably a couple of thousand, yard.
It's hard to turn out. When I leave out of here and I go down the little back way, it's hard for me to turn left because I can't, the way the topography is,
It is. I mean,
that frightens
right
me and I'm a
here,
good driver.
here, if you look at my arrow there,
I can
here,
shake it now.
it is a hump. It is very difficult to see the people coming
Mhm.
down
Mm-hmm.
from there. It's very difficult to see it.
Yeah,
And then also,
And they coming too.
yeah, and then, not just the people coming from I-20, the ones coming from,
Yeah. Through that
that,
stop
they
sign.
also are driving fast to, in a hurry to get to I-20. And so it is very difficult to make that turn here. You know, I told the consultant that whatever the option is, we need to align this thing because that, you know, you don't have to be dodging multiple directional traffic when you align this thing. You're only looking for one side. You're not looking for there, you're not looking for here, you know, and then once you put the signal, the entire traffic issues goes away. Because everybody has to stop. And then, you know, this having a signal or roundabout here is also going to calm down the people going to that three-way stop, because right now, the speed they're driving through here, they are not even paying attention to that there is a stop sign coming there. They just driving through. That is why, you know, council member just mentioned to me that there was another accident there.
Mhm.
So, you know, we put the blinking stop signs and two of them were taken down by
Yeah,
Because of the accident.
yeah,
we only have one now.
yeah, I see.
And the one we really need is the one coming from, coming down,
Going down,
right.
going down.
The
on
other
Jonah Hill.
two, more accidents because they don't know that stop sign is there and they continue to go. And that's what caused the accident.
So we, you know, we have to have a flag, you know, there is money in the 2025 budget for that flashing beacon.
Mhm.
And also, we may have to take down some of the trees within the right of way, just like we did for Salem and Evanston, we did that.
Mhm.
And then that improved that intersection significantly. When we cleared the right of way back, the people who were coming on Salem and taking the left turn, they
Yes.
were able to see.
Yes,
them
thank you.
clearly. Yes. So we may have to do that for this intersection.
I just like roundabouts though. They're
Yes.
really, really great.
Roundabout is, it's a very good option. You know, they're looking at this one more time and they're going to come back to us very soon. And then, so we'll have it. I'm hoping to bring the consultant, you know, to the 16th meeting by Zoom at least, so he can explain more than what I'm explaining.
Is this the same
Mary.
consultant who did the roundabout at the Rockland Church?
No,
No.
no, it's different. Yeah, this is, we used the DeKalb County on-call contract to do this. Right.
Mayor Hobble
That
from
sounds like the mayor.
Yes,
Yes, Mayor?
just wanted to mention, when whatever option is chosen to ensure that fire trucks can move easily through the solution that's provided for this intersection. There is a fire station coming, so the fire trucks will need to be able to turn easily left or right. So not sure if a roundabout would impact that or not, but just without discussing where that property is, we need to consider that a fire truck makes a considerable turn in its radius to be able to go north, south, east, or west to respond quickly.
They had no problem with the other ones.
You know, we will do that because this, I don't know whether you see this, Mayor,
I'm not
that
sure.
red, that is the, brickwork. And, that, the reason that every roundabout has that is you should be able to, the fire truck should be able to drive over that. So
You
they
said drive what?
drive over that,
Oh,
because that's, the green one is not, but the red one, the larger trucks, when they take the radius, they should be able to drive over that.
And when you
is-
say over, do you mean over like this or over the
just
red?
drive over that, because the elevation is not that high for the larger wheel trucks. If you try to drive your Honda Civic or something, you're gonna get caught on that, but the larger.
If need be, if they needed to get through.
they can-
Yeah.
If,
They
okay,
don't
that
go
makes sense.
around, they go over.
Right, they can go over.
Got it.
So what that means is that their turning radius is much bigger than the
Mhm.
smaller cars and
Got it.
SUVs. Yeah, smaller cars and SUVs should not try to drive over that. You know.
I've never seen
Yeah,
one come
I think
through.
you can go over, I might have to.
No, I shouldn't have said this yet.
No, but I've never seen a fire truck go over. Now you're gonna make me sound.
Yeah.
I've never seen them drive over.
That's, that is all, so this is the alternate two, we talked about it, alternate three, so that is all on the intersection improvements. And then hoping we can have a better discussion in the December council meeting, or more and then answer questions. Then I have cost estimates, the scoring for these, those each intersections, and that is how the recommendation is made. They look at the you know, the improvements And then they look at, so these are 2028 built out, and then they look for another 4 years. And see, basically, they calculate all the forecasted traffic, make sure these intersection improvements are going to work. So the report, I think I sent it to the mayor, the report, and then it's a good read. It's a highly technical report. It is available once the council adopted, we put that in our website. All right, the last item I wanted to bring it up is the paving 2024, that is the
Wait a minute, did you skip Everett Park? I thought you
Everett
said
Park,
something about
yes,
Park.
Everett Park, so let's talk about Everett Park here.
Please.
Everett Park, we had significant flood there. Some of the trails got damaged. It is not as significant as Panoma shows. And then that's the reason I did not bring any of the pictures. The water came and we went back. And we didn't have a lot of the improvements there to start with. But the biggest thing is some of the trails we built, we need to refurbish them. Maintain them. And then we may have to add some more drainage improvements there. That's about it for Everett. So as much water as we got at Everett, the damage is not as much as it did at Panola.
So the damage that was done, that's not something we want to share with, city manager to talk with Dima about.
Actually, the city manager has pictures of Everett.
Okay.
Yeah, she's gonna, yeah, she has it.
Okay.
Yeah, she has it, yeah. But let's,
Any mess up my furniture, never mind. Tree furniture, that's up on my head. Right, great.
right, so just to give you an update on the 2024 paving. We're at the tail end of it. The original contract was approved by the council on August 8th. The contract value was $3.8 million. The subdivisions included Sleepy Hollow, Harbor Mill, Spring Creek, Cumberland Green, Belmont Ridge, and Invermere, Stonebridge Creek Heights, Salem Hills, Arabian Woods, Saddle Ridge, Old Salem Woods, the Chestnut Lake Preserve. And, these are spread out through the entire city, and then every district got some out of that. And the other locations outside of the subdivisions, we did Panola Road, that was completed, and also West Barrington Parkway, that is in District 3. And then Wellington Manor parking spaces. So
What happened?
we have completed everything except Wellington Manor parking spaces. Once the contractor completes the final subdivision, they will go there.
You're going
They need to bring a separate crew for that because of the milling itself, they cannot use that monster machine. You gotta be careful of that. So that's the reason they haven't done that. So everything else, except the Wellington Manor on the original contract is completed. It was completed way before I went on vacation. That was done. And then the council also added an amendment, approved an amendment of the contract on September 9th, and that was $1.8 million. And in that subdivision, I think District 2 gotten a big share of that there. So Stonecrest Heights, Keystone Gates, Condominium, Sherwick, Winslow Crossing, Burlington, Belfair, Brooks Mill, and Evans Mill Heights. Those are the subdivisions included in that contract amendment. And except Brooks Mill and Evans Mill Heights, everything else is completed. They are working on Brooks Mill as we speak. And then by tomorrow, if it is not raining, they will be done by Brooks Mill. And then they have already milled and started milling Evans Mill Heights now. And then they will finish that. Rain permits, they should be done by way before Thanksgiving.
We're really excited about Brooks Mills. And I know my constituents over there are too. So thank you.
They're paving as we speak now.
I've had a comment. So they're excited over there. So thank you. Right back.
So there is a little bit of quality issues on Sherwick. The residents called us I got 10 calls, by the way, not just one or two. It was all well-planned, phone calls, so.
They got a great HOA.
I went there last Friday and I met with, our staff and I talked to two of the residents at the corner. And we told them they were happy, they were surprised that I showed up there immediately. And then, we acknowledged their concerns and we met with the contractor, last week and this week. And they have, they have made some staff changes. Let's put it that way. And, we're going back and fixing, and then, we're getting the quality that our residents deserve, or we'll get that fixed.
What about parking on the grass, was it? Some residents
That
called,
was
said they
good,
were
yes.
parking on my lawn. and-
Right, one of the subdivisions, yes, we informed the contractor, there's plenty of room to park, there's no need to park on the grass. We told them that. So we are wrapping up, 2024 paving, thanks to the sunny, weather we had, this year, except a few days, we paved every day, almost every day after the council approved, the contract. And then just to give you a summary of that, so that is contract amendment was 99, that was the last approval. The 2024 council approved budget was $6 million. The original contract was, August 8th, and then the amendment was, on September 9th, and the balance that leaves us with, about 362. And then, we gotten, LMIC supplemental after the council approved, the budget in, December or November. We received, GDOT is receiving, made a $776,000. And we still got a little more to go. We need to submit our lists and everything and then, paperwork and everything to get that money. Hopefully we'll get that at some point. And so we have still some money left, and then, potentially, I have a, quote from the same contractor, to resurface Hidden Quarry Road. That was one of the roads that rated, low. It's not the entire Hidden Quarry. This is a section from Klondike up to a section. And, we're planning to bring that to the council at some point. And then, once we firm up the LMIC supplemental money, we can add some smaller subdivisions, to this contract. Or it's, we can go back and rebid it. You can see that, sometime, I think, the council member, District 3 asked me why, it is, why it is 3.8 when we budgeted $6 million. So the estimates were done, in the roads based on the 2022 and 23 prices. Surprisingly, when we bid this for 24, 3.8 was the number. The estimate was much higher than that.
So we got a bargain.
I wouldn't say that in public, so. So that is the reason we were able to do an amendment, and then do this. And then, we can still go back and use the same rates as long as the contractor honor that and more subdivisions, to that contract. And then I wanted to just bring up our 2023 payment evaluation, round this up. You can see this, the green, dark green to the red, just to give you, kudos to the council. Our streets are in much better shape than the people give credit for. You can see if you add that excellent and very good, that is more than 50%. And then if you add the good, that is, it's a very significant percentage of our roads are in good shape compared to our neighboring cities in the county. If you see that very poor, 5.1%, and then poor, 10.3%, that is what we attach in that $6 million. And then some marginal. So, hopefully, if we can, so that 5.1 is not there anymore. That very poor 5.1 is not there anymore. So That is probably very small percentage now, and then the poor is not 10.3 anymore. That is very small. And then you can see that our average was 68. I think the council is considering the budget in the 2025 budget to put some money there. So we significantly moving towards 70 as we speak. So that 5.1, 10.3, and 9.1, we wipe out and move them to the dark green towards that, and we'll be in better shape. Just to give you,
So we currently aren't at 70. So I was under the impression that after this rate, we'd be at 68 or close to 70. We're at 68, not 70.
we were close to 70. After 2025, we'll be close to 70.
Oh, after.
Sorry?
Okay, say that again.
After 2025, we'll be very close to.
So our next paving season is going to take us closer to that.
Correct.
So we're at 67, 68 now?
No, we were 68 in 2023, before the 2024 period.
So after 24, we'll,
It is very difficult to say that. The needle doesn't move that. It is not, the reason we are 68 is because 2022, we spent $12 million, $13 million. That's how we got to this point. Because you may remember that we had to come back and get additional money. The reason is that we attacked all the worst streets in Stormcrest in that 2020 period. So, Lionsgate, one of the former council members, we had to rebuild the whole subdivision. It was like 10 and 12, their PCI numbers. And we brought that down up to 98, 99. And that moved us fast. When the roads are in the 30s and 40s, and then you bring it 90, it doesn't move the PCI very significantly. When you move a 10 or 5 or 2
Up
to 98, the average it's a math. So, so that's that. And
Can you send me that chart, Michael?
I can send you the whole thing.
Okay, perfect.
Right. And then one more thing I want to share with you before we close here.
I got 2 questions.
Um, This is the one I want to share it so that, I try to share it with everybody. So this is in our website, city website, any public can go through it. So this is basically showing you every year what we are paying. So I'm going to turn off everything else. You can see what subdivisions we have paved in 2024. Councilmember 5, you can see you got a good.
Oh, no, I already have. I'm on you, Ryan.
All right, you share of the roads that, you have, and then people can go and see, and then these are updated every week, by the way. And then, so, when we pay a street, we put that in there, and then you can see, 2023, we did a significant number. And 2022 is where we did a lot of stuff, so that is this, repaving schedule. The other one is the one I want to show everybody. This one here, this is updated weekly. And I'm going to turn on these things to show how good our streets are. So these are excellent. You can see that excellent condition, and then you can see very good. And you can see good. You can see fair. So it's throughout the city. We are in a very good shape. I'm going to turn off everything and show you something. So the ones, when we did the analysis or evaluation or inspection in 2023, some of these streets were rated poor. You can see this this subdivision here, this was graded all very bad. And now, since we are updating this every week, that is green now. Let me go back here now. Just to tell you, where we are here. All right, so we are attacking very poor and poor streets now. Right. So what is left very poor is this one. Can you even see anything there? And then poor is here. And then this subdivision here. Where is it? This subdivision here. This one, I don't know whether anybody can identify this. This will turn green next week.
What's the street?
This is Evans Mill,
Yes.
Woodrow Road,
Well, you know where it is.
right? This is Woodrow, and then this is, they are paving as we speak here. So this will become green next week.
Hold you to it.
I mean, it's probably, I can update it Friday because it's, they're paving. I actually have the tickets in my hand. So you can see, you know, people, you know, you can see what are the very poor streets. This is it. When in 2025, when we come in, we're not paving the entire subdivision. We are paving only the bad streets because it is very difficult to find a subdivision now entirely bad, like we were in 2022 and 23. So, and
What's
then
that street, Harry? Where you at? Where you headed? Yeah.
this one,
What's that?
that is not our street. That is actually the what do you call that?
Trail.
The trail there. That they put it there. I need to change that. That's the
Yeah. It's a trick.
that's a trail. Yeah, I need to change that. You know, they did everything about it. But that's not a street.
I mean,
So once you change that, our PCI is even going to go off. And then you see 4th Street. This is it we're talking about. And then we are looking at some of these subdivisions. You know, I'm working on the 2025 list. So we're basically going and picking from this map, the red and then the dark way. That's what we are taking off. And then margin, you know, we'll move on to this. So, you know, the council should be really proud of what we have achieved in the last 3 years, what we have paid here. And then if I turn off all these things and then go to excellent, see how far it is lighting up. So, Mayor Pro Tem, that is my presentation.
Thank you very much. My daughter lives out of Cascade in the great city of Atlanta. And when I go over there, I'm ducking, dodging, and not just a short distance, seems like a couple of miles. So compared to other places around the metro Atlanta, we are looking really, really good.
Reverend, can I do want to ask Harry one more question?
Absolutely.
So when you come down almost Evans Mill in Salem, there's a, almost like what you showed us on with the cones at, Finola, on that end, there's a huge, that property where you cut the trees back, so we can see, there's a huge crater at the edge of, when you get ready to turn right off of Evansville onto Salem. That's my pathway to work.
Okay, so, you know, these edge rutting, you know, kind of stuff, we are still relying on the DeKalb County.
Okay, so I need to send it in the state.
Yeah, I mean, you can send it.
No,
I
no,
can
you
send it. Yeah, I can send it. So we're still, you know, when people say that the edges washed away, those are maintenance items.
Okay.
We're still sending it to DeKalb County. So we are only doing capital dollars for resurfacing of the streets. And then one more street that I wanted to bring it up, this section of Rock Spring here. You know, this is a new subdivision somewhere here. That, let me turn off the district line because that is in the T district. So this section also, you know, I may bring that up to the council at some point. Because that's, you know, that section here, this is where the new subdivision is, and this is another entrance to one of the subdivisions here. What is this?
Harrison Farm, I believe.
Yeah, so that section, need to be resurfaced at some point because, people are dodging, the lanes in that area too. So, and then, you know, obviously, I showed the court for, a few minutes ago, for this one here. This is the section I just showed you. This is Klondike and this is the hidden quarry section. This is the section I showed that $87,000. Quote from contractor. So just to tell you this, we're not arbitrarily picking both at all. It is all coming from this map. If it is red, we are on it. If it is green, they're not paving that.
That's the apartment complex right there.
It is the apartment complex, correct? This is the apartment complex entrance.
Harry, that actually brings me to a question. So we're primarily focusing on subdivisions. What about on the list, the travel, that are in the, primarily red? Are we going to be tackling those or those more?
Are you talking about resurfacing?
Yes.
We own every street in Progress. County doesn't own anything. We own it. For the capital projects, we are responsible. But they are still our public works. They are responsible for changing the signs. If the faded sign, they're doing it. They're responsible for patching potholes. They're responsible.
For resurfacing, we have that.
We have, yes. There is only two types of streets in Progress. One is the state-owned or city-owned. County doesn't own anything. We took over all the streets to us when we got incorporated.
So right in front of the fire station. On Evansville. We continually have those two potholes / scabs, I call them, they're pavement scabs, because they're not deep, but the surfaces. And so we get
You're talking about when you come and try to turn.
no, I'm coming from Salem Road, I've made a left onto Evansville, I'm going up the hill. And when I get right in front of the fire station, if I want to make a right on Rockland, there's some rough.
Right, that's been patched by.
Yeah, it's been patched
three
a couple of
times,
times.
three times, yeah.
How much length do we need for us to put it on our paving?
It has to be a significant vote.
And that's not significant enough.
All right.
Okay.
Oh,
What's the rate? What's the PCI
So that's.
for that area?
Let's see.
Two black scabs on it right now. But they wash away. Right off.
You're talking about this section, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Right in front of the fire
All right,
station.
this is Rockland and. this
Yes,
is
right there.
I don't see anything
You don't see nothing bad.
not bad. It's all rated high. You know, I know that it probably didn't give a bad rating for it because it's only a spot there.
Yeah, it's not this much.
Right.
Not this much.
Right. That's maybe the reason.
Yeah. Well, you'll
Harry?
still come look at it.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just want to make sure that I'm understanding the point you were driving home about what's remaining in red, which I think is what we're trying to present to the public, is that we've pretty much tackled all of the subdivisions that the majority of the subdivision ranked poor, very poor. And so we've taken care of the properties that the entire subdivision or the majority of the subdivision was ranked in, in some variation of red. So now what's left in red are pieces of roads that some of them may be in a subdivision, but it is not a complete subdivision repave. We're now just going back in, kind of capturing single or individual streets, maybe some within a subdivision that ranked lower, and maybe the rest of the subdivision ranked higher. So now we're just going in and kind of cleaning up those individual streets.
Yes, that's correct. And then there is one subdivision here. This is Klondike, and then you can see this. If I put all of them, you can see some of them are good, some of them are fair, some of them are marginal. So we will be basically going and we have the report we still will go there and do a physical assessment. And when we, pave the subdivision, we'll be looking at it and then putting in the contract. So this is what I'm working on. I'm almost like 80% done. For 2025, we will bring that to the council at some point. I mean, you can see, you're not going to see any subdivision completely red anymore.
What subdivision is that?
This is, it is River Bend Overlook.
That's on Klondike Pass,
Right.
almost by Georgia Power.
Riverman?
Going toward Everett Park.
Okay.
No, I'm saying just.
Harry, is this accessible for the public now, or are we still waiting?
I didn't hear you, ma'am. What did you say?
Is this accessible to the public now, or are we still waiting a little bit?
This is coming out of our website. Everybody has access to this, so, what they need to do is, okay, so it is in our website. You go to, let me see this here. I need to go to, so we need to go to, Department for Engineering and paving update, and then go there, and then the interactive map is there. And at the top, you can look at the annual paving thing, and then go to this one at the other bar. You will see the current condition. So, you will see they have this bar that they can turn off and turn on and look at their street condition. So we put this about a month ago, and so everybody has access to this.
Okay, yeah, I played around with it before. I just wanted to get it on record for people who may be watching the recording at a later date to know that this is accessible to them. Do we have a date somewhere set on here, Harry, where it says as of 2024, this was the condition of the roads, and then as of 2025, and kind of.
So you can see that if you click on one of those, saying that what is the road name, and then the PCI number, and then condition of is excellent, and then from where to where. And then let me give you one more thing. You go to say, let's click on council number 5 district here. So I need to. Okay, we are going to include the dates. I have it. The date paved also going to be in each of the segments. So we're going to have date paved also, so they know. Our plan is to put as much information as possible for everybody, so that
We can start asking you questions.
everybody. When somebody asks questions, when it comes to anybody, they can.
That's a safe answer.
Let me take you back, Harry, to Panola Road. I think a lot of the problems they had there because of the garbage truck, the school buses, and the big 18 wheels that are not supposed to be on there.
Right.
And I know that there was a sign. on
Yeah, that's
155.
probably I'm going to let the mayor, because she was mayor. You want to take it, or you want me to handle that?
I couldn't hear his question. What was it?
The question is about the trucks that are not supposed to be on Panola Road at 155. There was a sign there.
Oh, yeah.
That knocked down. And even with the sign being there, there was some trees blocking the view of it.
Right.
And we worked out with whomever is responsible for getting the sign back up, so we can ask someone to enforce it by citing violators.
Yes, so actually the sign was not down. We asked DOT to move it back to be at the beginning of the bridge because it was too close to the intersection and trucks were not able to see the sign and or it was too late. They had already committed to the turn before they saw the sign. So we asked DOT to move the sign back So basically further up 155 so that when they hit the bridge, they saw the sign immediately. We went out there and looked at the sign again, and we think that the sign may still be too small, although properly placed, may be too small. So we've, asked DOT to make some adjustments to the size of that sign, but they have placed the sign where we asked them to on both the east and westbound side. So that we have discussed it. So now that we have, we're not just discussed it, we've had them make that change. Now that we have completed the paving on that stretch between Browns Mill and 155, we are now going to ask our law enforcement partners to help us enforce that once the new sign, the new larger sign gets there. And then we're going to ask law enforcement to help us enforce that turn. We've asked for that to be also similarly on the Miller Road Bridge when that construction is complete. We've asked DOT to put a sign on the Miller Road Bridge to not allow the trucks to continue down Miller Road beyond Manola. We're asking that trucks have to make a left-hand turn onto Manola once they come across that Miller Road Bridge, so that trucks are not in the residential areas of Miller Road. Obviously, we are, concerned not only about the traffic in our residential area, but also getting ready to make a significant investment into that intersection improvement at Miller Road and Thompson Mill. So we've asked DOT to do that as well once the bridge construction is complete on Miller Road. Also, Councilwoman Grimes, we did ask DOT to replace all the lights under the bridges, specifically Evans Mill, but we asked them to look at all the lights under all of the bridges and ensure that they are illuminated.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
So
ma'am.
This is very recent, the mayor is updating, because we had a meeting last week.
Okay.
Last
super duper.
weekend, and we had a significant items, we went through, and then, the sign,
Okay.
was, one of the things. That
We had one constituent who has truly been on the lighting of the underpass, so I hope she's listening tonight to hear
We
this
brought attention to the homeless people and stuff under that bridge.
again.
Homeless people that's living under that bridge on Evans Mill.
I haven't seen the unhoused under there. I've seen them at the corner of,
They're there.
by,
That was one, and I reported it to code
Not Mabel.
enforcement.
what's the main? I've seen them on that. I've seen them there.
No, they're directly under the bridge.
No, I've not seen them, but I'm not saying they're
Yeah,
not.
yeah, I'm just letting you know. They've been there for a while.
One last update from DOT. We have been asking for the overhead exit signs to be changed or replaced to add the word Stonecrest onto them to indicate that those exits are within the city limits of Stonecrest. Similarly, how you see Tucker on theirs, Roswell on their overhead exit signs, so on and so forth. So we've been asking for that for quite some time, and we've been working with DOT on that project. Hopefully you've seen probably a year or two now, Harry. We did get the signs for the city limits placed around our city limits on I-20, 124, and 155. But so they did accomplish that, but now we've asked for the overhead exit signs to be replaced and have Stonecrest listed on those. So we did have a discussion about that in our last meeting, of an update of that discussion. We asked them to go back and look at the Panola Road Bridge project to see if overhead signage is included in that redesign. If it is, then usually that cost is assumed in that project. So we've asked them to check the project details to see if that will be included in that project. And essentially that cost will be taken on by DOT. We've asked them to do the same thing for the for the Turner Hill Bridge. If the overhead exit signage will be included in that project, then that cost will be assumed there. So they're looking at the details of both projects to report back on whether or not the overhead signs will be included in the cost. If they are not included in the cost, then we will bring before the city council a proposal from DOT to pay for the overhead signage so that all the exit signs say Stonecrest that are within the city limits of Stonecrest. So Panola, Evans Mill, Lithonia Industrial, and Turner Hill. So that's 3 east and 3 west. But obviously, if they're going to be included in the cost of the projects, then we'll certainly allow DOT to take on that cost for us. If they're not included in it, then we'll bring a proposal to you for that.
Mayor, could you repeat those bridges?
So currently, the exits that are within the city limits are Panola Road, Evans Mill, Lithonia Industrial, and Turner Hill.
But there's only 3 signs each direction, even though they have 4. Those signs, yeah.
Harry, on the repurposing of the Panola Road, where over the bridge and the overpass, are they gonna have sidewalks on both sides?
Yes.
This is only one.
Right, so it's actually not both sides, ma'am, it's gonna be the middle. So.
It's gonna be the middle?
Middle, yes, so, the design, if you go to, Jimmy Carter, these are gonna be divergent diamond. So you come in, cross the road, and then cross the road, just like that. So when you do that, when you try to put it on the edges, you got too many crossings. So it's going to be in the middle, it's going to be a safer, like a wall island there. So sidewalks are included in that. And then that also, just like Mayor mentioned, we're going to have that 10-foot long, high Stonecrest signs on both sides of that. And then at the beginning, they were walking at having the Stonecrest color. And I'm not sure what happened. And when the final product came in, it's red. So we're gonna have.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right, so Stonecrest color also, that sign. And then the 3 overhead, signs on those exits, they already designed it. I have it with me. And then the cost is also given to us before the last meeting. And then the last meeting, Mayor asked them to look into whether those could be included in there, so that we don't have to pay for that. And also, Mayor asked that if there any other cities pay like this. So we want to know everybody else.
Absolutely.
Equal treatment.
Ms. Perry, if I can ask one more question on the pavement schedule. For poor pavement and very poor pavement, if they're just directly next to each other, are we going to take on the very poor pavement just separately as a section? And just not, or are we gonna do the poor and very poor at the same time?
No, sir, we're doing poor and very poor.
So if they're both right next to each other, they'll both be done.
We're going to do poor and very poor, and sometimes even marginal we are doing here. What we are not doing is,
Fair.
excellent, very good, good, and fair. And then, there is no reason to be, ignoring that and then go back and do it again.
Just one.
So we are doing, not just very poor, so we're cleaning it up, this assessment is from 2023. And then when we have this, when we go and start paving, my site inspector go and walk with the contractor that day morning before they start milling. And we make adjustments at that time. If the condition have worsened between the assessment and now, we're going to do that all over. So we don't want, some of the subdivisions we didn't pave, we had some complaints. That is not based on the PCIO condition. It is based on the color of the pavement. That we explained to them, you're not, this color is going to be all the same in about 6 months, or maybe a year. The whole thing is going to be, same. But we're not shooting for the color, we are shooting for the quality.
Okay, cool. Anything else?
Really,
November
Mayor
now?
Pro Tem,
Yes, ma'am.
we mentioned, or I mentioned yesterday about the right-of-way maintenance agreement from DOT. So not the signage that Harry just mentions, not our bridgescaping agreement. We've completed that already. We completed lighting and we completed the bridge scrape agreement. So obviously when that project starts moving, then we'll see that signage go up. But, and then of course, on the same thing on the Evans Mill, I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep saying that, on the Turner Hill Bridge. We are waiting for more details of that project so that we'll know, when we can install, the signage for Evans Mill, the bridge scaping for Evans Mill as well. Oh my God, for Turner Hill, I'm sorry. We are not putting it on the Evans Mill because obviously there's no bridge there. We're putting the bridge scape on Panola and Turner Hill. So not that agreement. Again, we've already done that. The right-of-way maintenance agreement, from DOT is for the city to, allowing the city to take over the right-of-way maintenance for all the state-owned roads, that are within the city to increase its frequency. Again, we talked about this a little bit last night, but if, we are not satisfied with the frequency in which, the state comes to maintain its right-of-ways, then they are giving us, permission via this agreement, to take care of it ourselves. So we need to assess, one, our desire to do that, and two, the affordability of it. So I just wanted to reiterate that it is not about the signage, the signage or the exit overhead signs or the bridgescaping signs. I'm referring to a right-of-way maintenance agreement, where the city would take over the right-of-way maintenance from the state-owned roads.
You speaking of Barrington from Fanola down to, Hillendale connector?
I'm speaking of
And
all the
Hillendale.
state-owned roads in the city. So you're talking about Covington Highway, you're talking about Hillendale, you're talking about Farrington, we're talking about Lithonia. No, Lithonia Industrial may be us. Mm, what else, Harry? So we're talking about all the state-owned roads.
All right, well, this might be a discussion within itself to actually understand what is in the city that belongs to the state, and when it comes to maintenance, what is it gonna really cost? Okay.
Right, and that would include the right-of-ways around the bridges as well. So the access roads, all the way up and down our portions of I-20, Covington Highway, Hillendale, Farrington. 155, the portion that belongs to us. I'm sorry, the portion that's in the city limits. Not all of 155 is in the city limits. Harry, is 212 state or is that us?
Yes,
State, yeah.
212, yeah, 212 is state. So yeah, there's a
155 portion on the east,
Right.
west side is done unincorporated, DeKalb County, and our side is actually the east side, I think.
right. So there's a good handful that are state owned. So they are, and they have these agreements with many local governments, who are not quite satisfied with the frequency of which they maintain the right of way. So they've given the local governments permission to maintain the right of way on their behalf.
sounds like an agenda item for, what is that? Okay, good information, great information, really. December, I'm not sure if we're gonna call a meeting, just a matter of, what is on the horizon. We do need to approve the minutes from all of the meetings we've had this year. We could probably combine that with one of the other meetings we have and, take care of it then, unless you find a reason for us to meet in December. But, it's been a good year. We learned a lot and, looking forward to someone else chairing next year. Anything else for the good of the order before we adjourn? Anything else in the back?
You heard me?
All right, then, we declare this meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
And good night.
Thank you, Mr. Harry. I appreciate
That was
you.
good, that was good. Oh,
Nice to meet you as well.
Walker,
That's
is
correct.
that Walker?
Patrick Walker.
Walker. Make sure I had the last name right.
It's
Did you come in the stop?
You want only the paving now.
Yeah, you can. It's a pretty good, huh?
This is the council. I mean, yes, send it to me.
What's green? What you got going?
Oh, boy.
They gotta sign in.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all signed in, everybody signed in?
I actually, I couldn't talk to the city manager about that, the last meeting, I'll bring it up to the next meeting. She was the one to ask me something, I forgot about that. So I'll bring up,
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what day you sent that list of the PCI cards? I was trying to find it last night and I couldn't find it.
which part you're talking about?
Not the chart, but the Excel, but the pronounced sheet of all the PCI scores for all the streets
I'm gonna walk
that we
around
did
and I'll come
in
back
twenty
with
twenty-three,
y'all.
the 2023 study.
Yeah, it's on the website.
It's on, I tried to find it on the website.
It's right here, I'll show it to you.
Yeah, I found this.
Yeah.
The page, the map, but I couldn't find.
No, it's, if you go back to the website.
Yeah, I was.
The very last thing.
Yeah,
Very
I
last
called me
thing.
one day at home
Yeah.
and asked me where it is.
Engineering, yeah, right here, right, paving schedule, paving program. Look, I don't know.
Now I'm acting like Felicia.
There.
I'm looking for 2024.
No, we made it 23.
Yeah, you did it in 23, that's.
Mayor Pro Tem will call me one day, asking me. I actually gave a direction without even looking at the.
I
computer.
have no idea.
But the thing about it is, tell the customer, oh, it's simple, just go to the website. do it.
I think
You try to
it's
tell them
the
that
other
you're
thing,
doing,
we
you can't tell them. Not as simple as I thought.
There it is, okay.
Yeah.
This is, I think it's the, I'm not sure, I was looking around on last night, and I don't know how I found the map before I found the goddamn study.
Yeah.
But I was so mad.
That's the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, wait.
Huh?
Anybody has the number?
Mayor Pro Tem, you know it's still recording.
Oh,
You have his number? Give
You
me his.
just talking, still recording.
Oh, it's still recording.
Oh, yeah, I'm listening.
can you stop the recording, Mr. Facilitator?
Oh, no, keep talking.
We're talking.
Yeah, just wait.
Mayor got jokes.
We're leaving
I'll
the
call
building.
I'll call him and tell him.
Oh, you got a number? Okay, we'll call it. You call it?
Who's taking that list? And
Just
what is
leave,
that little black thing?
just leave it here. That's the somebody's, nothing. That's Jim. I'm not gonna do that. Can you hear me now, Mayor?
Yep.
Huh, well, that didn't help. So much for that bright idea.
I told him to stop it.
Okay. Close that. I'll let them handle it. I'm gone.
I mean, there's nothing to record if nobody's in there, so it's all right. It's not live anyway.
Well, I hate for someone to come in here and have a little quiet conference and it gets recorded.
They'll be on video.
I can stick around till the thing stops.
Yeah.
Make sure nobody's saying them. Ah, speaking of Angel, there he is.
Is Andrew online?
Oh, we're done.
Tell him to stop it. Tell him to stop. Jimez is calling Andrew.